Hi, this is Trevor.
And this is Paul.
And you are listening to the May Contain Action podcast.
Available on Apple, Spotify, and more. Well, Sam, we kind of touched on a little bit before what you did before kind of like your job now, which is multifaceted, and we'll get into that, obviously. But what did you do before streaming, content creation, or I guess more before Ben kind of started to take off? What was your job? What did you do out of college, high school?
I've always worked in the photography industry. I mean, I did fast food jobs in early high school, but as soon as I could, I got a job with an editor for senior photographer pictures, and I edited all the images for all of my classmates, which was kind of fun to have that much control over picking which images they get to see.
Oh God.
And then in college, I did, odd and end serving jobs here and there, but eventually got a job at a corporate portrait studio in the mall. Ended up running that for about 2 years out of the 4 years that I was there. And then the week that we got married, I ditched that job and started my own business and ran a photography business for 10 years. And the first 3 years of that, I also managed a pottery studio. Just in case jumping into my own business was not successful, I still needed to bring in money. So I worked at a paint your own pottery studio and managed that for them for 3 years.
Wow, you're wildly creative. You're all over the place.
I am.
All the way from messing with your fellow classmates' photos to running a pottery operation. That's amazing.
Running a pottery operation. I was waiting for you to say the second word, and you're like, operation. A secret pottery operation at the back of your house. Only insiders knew.
Clearly a front. Clearly. What do you guys do here? Pottery? You sure it's not crystal meth? No, it's pottery.
It could have looked like that in the back with all the kilns and all of the glaze that we had to use was like lime green. Yeah. So for years, and you can ask Ben about this, my cuticles were stained lime green for years because I was too lazy to wear gloves. I would just put my hand right inside all these chemicals. Not a big deal. I did the same thing in college when processing photographs. They were like, use the tongs to pick up your pictures out of all of these chemicals. I'm like, fingers? I have those already.
Like what? You said tongs?
We don't know that.
Next time. We'll do it next time.
Solution. It's totally fine. Unbelievable. So how old were you when you and Ben met? And when did you get married?
We are coming up on 13 years of being together this summer. So how old am I? So we met when I was 20 and then we got married. We're coming up on 10 years in the end of the summer. So
that's
got
awesome.
Married when we were 23, 20. He was 23. I was 24.
Yeah. That's incredible. Jeez.
So long time.
My
23, 24. That seems just so young to me. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I was going to be like 40 when I got married. What's 40?
Good Lord.
I was just like playing baseball. I was like, nah, I'm not going to do any of that stuff. I'm not going to do kids or get married until I'm done playing. And I was like, wait, that's not how this works.
Exactly. Yeah. No.
And then my wife was just like, yeah, I'm going to be 30 before and then she was 24. She's like, okay, let's get married. I was like, okay. And that's it. That's my whole story.
Just know you know.
That was a beautiful
I did, however, want to make sure, like, obviously not make sure, not force, but I ideally wanted to have a kid by the time I turned 30. For some reason, that was just always something in my head.
It's like a number. Yeah.
That by 30, I just wanted to be a mom. And Charlie was a butt and stayed in my stomach for 2 extra weeks. So I turned 30 and then I kicked him out and became a mom. So close enough.
Close. He was in there like, can't wait to ruin this for mom.
Yeah, exactly.
We're running out of time.
I had my first Braxton Hicks contractions, I think, on my birthday, and I was freaking out. I was like, I don't want to share a birthday with him. I was being real selfish. Like,
This
screw
is
that.
my
It's my
birthday,
day. Don't take it away from me.
They're like, push. You're like, no, I'm waiting 5 more hours.
Yeah. That's fine. He took it almost an extra week to arrive anyways. So
All right, good. I didn't want to share a birthday.
But close is good, but just not
Close
on the
is good.
same
It
day.
close is
sucks
fine.
for Ben though, because all in 1 week,
Yeah.
it's my birthday, Charlie's birthday, and our wedding anniversary in a span of 1 week in August. So poor guy.
Oh, yeah. He's got to get it together.
Yeah.
Hard to
Fired
forget,
up for a
though.
week. Get excited for a week.
Yeah. But then after that week's over, you can just turn his brain off. There's nothing else to celebrate.
Yeah,
Basically.
you don't have to be cool at all ever again.
Exactly.
My
Never
job.
remember. Never
Let's
remembers
just
my
play
birthday.
Tarkov.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I did want to tack on to this question a little bit, and we were talking about it before the podcast. We realized we wanted to save it for, and I wanted to have a good segue, but I'm terrible at segues, so I'm just going to come out and ask.
Yeah.
And I believe Paul knows this too. Sam, you did a podcast, right? As
Done
well.
2.
You've done 2 podcasts.
2 podcasts.
Tell us about those. I want to know.
So
about those.
the first one that I started was Ben's actually wearing the shirt from my podcast today. It makes me so happy that he still wears it. It's called 3 Minute Break. And it was myself, King Gathalion's wife, Professor Broman's wife, Grenader Jake's wife, and the True Vanguard's wife all together talking about kind of the behind the scenes of streaming and what that looked like for the various different family situations that we had at that time. Some of them are married and some of them weren't. Some of us had kids and some of us didn't. And some of the moms worked from home or didn't work or worked out of the home. So like we had this whole different setup. And we lasted about 9 months, and then, things happened and we all got busy. But we would do a monthly, kind of sit down, and at first just started out as almost kind of a helper thing for people that were in relationships and their significant other is streaming, and what do you do and how do you balance all that? So we created the podcast for that.
Nice.
Wow.
And then it just turned into then inviting people on that were in different family situations than us. So we had a few women where they were the sole providers and the streamers in the family. And we had a friend of mine that she was a surrogate, and we brought her on too. And we're like, this is your job, but you're also a surrogate too. So how are you maintaining all that? Because obviously when you're a surrogate, they can ask you to do or not do certain things. So was that limiting what she could do for work and all this kind of stuff? So it worked out really, really well. We had a baby following. It was really fun. We made t-shirts. It all went to St. Jude. It was good. And then I was on Dad Tales podcast as a guest after Ben was on for a few times. And they brought me on for their Mother's Day episode. And enough people liked me, cheesy, that they asked me to come back, and I went on a second time a few months later. And then all the guys just liked having a female perspective on things, and it's not just them making literal fart jokes the whole entire time. So I kind of brought a little bit of calmness to their group.
That's good. It's good. It's all we do here. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That said, do you want to be on your 3rd podcast?
Yeah, exactly. And so I was on there for about a year, and things just got busy with Ben, and my health issues were kind of gearing up a little bit more. And so I had to bow out, but we went on for their 100th episode, Ben and I together. And that was the last time. And so they've rebranded to the Distinguished Gentleman's Podcast now. But they're a good group of guys. So
wow. Awesome. And you've enjoyed your time hosting a little bit for them as well, right?
Yeah.
I mentioned doing that and liking it a lot.
It's fun.
You I feel like you do have a natural knack for hosting. I feel like you would fit in really well. So, however, I will say, when you mentioned all the people that were hosting your first, I was like, how does anyone talk? That's so many people. You're like, this person, this person, this person, this. We're all hosts. I was like, my God.
It was pretty much like The View.
Yeah. All right. I didn't want to say that.
And yelled over each other.
Yeah. There's one that's really opinionated, and another one that's really me.
That was me.
You were Whoopi?
Not really. I guess. I mean, everybody was really into it, but it was my idea. So I kind of just ran with it. It wasn't my idea. Somebody suggested it. But I was the one that kind of ran with it and kind of spearheaded everything and did all of the, stream work and stuff like that for it. Yeah. So I just kind of took it upon myself to, talk a lot.
To talk a lot.
Right?
I love that.
Is that the job requirement?
I'm glad you're a whoopee. Man,
yes.
She runs a tight ship on that View. Every Tuesdays on ABC. I actually have no idea what channel it's on. It doesn't matter.
Me either. I've actually never seen a full episode of The View, so.
I haven't either. Only when they say crazy, sensational stuff, and I see it on the news. That's the only time.
30-second clips at a time. I think that's all I can handle.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
By the news, I mean Twitter, obviously, guys. That's where the news is. Sillies. So...